Now today I want to talk about taunting, because I feel like it's something people may not pay as much attention to as they should, whether you're a back attacker or you're a front attacker or the person doing the taunts. I'm gonna try and share some info, maybe some tips today, or things to look out for that may be able to help you out with your game. Not even gonna waste no more time, let's go. Let's start off with what taunts do. The main thing that they can do is interrupt certain boss patterns and basically tell the boss to sit down. This, if done correctly, can be extremely helpful to the raid, especially for DPS with positional requirements like back or head attackers. Even though it is super helpful, not every boss can be taunted, which is good to know because as a Gunlancer or Destroyer, you can still benefit from using your quote-unquote taunt skill, whether the boss is affected by the taunt or not. You still want to use Shout of Hatred for Gunlancers to restore meter, apply your synergy, and gain shield, and End or Pain on Destroyer to gain push immunity, get your 3 cores if you're using that tripod, or a shield as well. Here's a quick list of some of the main bosses that taunts work on versus don't. This is not going to be everyone, but this is just some of them. Vaulting Gate 1, yes. Vaulting Gate 2, no. Vicus Gate 1, yes. Vicus Gate 2 and 3, no. Cuckoo Any Gate, no. However, when he spawns those little flamethrowers that people use to get, turned to go into Mario, those can be taunted, and that can be helpful to help destroy them, because when you taunt them, they stop shooting out the fire. Belshazzar Gate 1, yes. Belshazzar Gate 2, the head, yes, but when you go inside to fight Prokel, the real body, he cannot be taunted. Belshazzar Gate 3, yes. Belshazzar Gate 4, 5, and 6, no. I'm pretty sure all Guardians can be taunted, and the last one that I'll mention is Argos, no. But when you do Argos Gate 2, the separate bosses in the Sun and Moon room can indeed be taunted. Now, even though there are quite a few bosses that can be taunted, they all still have their own respective patterns where they can be immune to the effect of the taunt. Like if they're transitioning to a different phase, if they're countered staggered on the floor, during stagger checks, or doing wipe mechanics. This is where things start to get important. When you successfully apply your taunt to the boss, there's an internal cooldown before you can taunt again. On Legion raids where you can see the HP bars of the boss, this can be identified by the drops of ether looking countdown timer under their HP bar. For Guardian raids where you cannot see the HP bar, this can be identified by the angry shadow face above the boss's head. The bigger that shadow is, the more time you have to wait, versus the smaller it gets, the closer it is to breaking, which will allow you to taunt again. If you use your taunt on the boss while they're in one of their taunt immunity phases, the boss will not snap to you. However, the cooldown for the taunt will still be placed. Now, this doesn't mean never use your taunt during these taunt immune patterns, because if the boss is knocked down as a destroyer, you want to do damage, and that can include using your taunt to get those instant 3 cores, or as a Gunlancer, you want to apply your synergy for yourself and your teammates. But I wanted to make sure I mention it because sometimes you have to play the long game and think, if I taunt while he's down, we'll get some more damage. However, I won't be able to taunt for another 30 to 40 seconds. So is the damage we're getting while the boss is down enough to where it's worth me not being able to interrupt the next annoying pattern? With all this being said, it's very important to keep an eye on the cooldown of the taunt so you can attempt to make the fight easier for you and your teammates. Part of making it easier is also making sure when you taunt, you are positioned in a way that other DPS do not have to reposition as much. It's not always easy, but you want to try your best to do the moving so other people don't have to. Do not taunt the boss 180 degrees. Flipping the boss completely around is a huge no-go and will definitely be a loss in damage uptime for your team. Now, if you're going to be taunting him to prevent him from turning 180 degrees, that's another thing, but that is more situation based. The reason I want to talk about taunts today was because I have been running with other destroyers when I'm not playing on my Gunlancer or my destroyer. I run with other destroyers or Gunlancers, and a lot of times their taunts are questionable to say the least, and it makes fighting the bosses much harder than it needs to be, because it's like you're fighting the boss and you're fighting the Gunlancer or taunter on your team as well, especially for classes like Deathblow Striker, Shock Scrapper, who are extremely slow, and they look forward to getting that yearning speed. They're always having to chase the back of the boss, and if you have to chase the back of the boss and then it suddenly turns around because of the taunt, it makes it even harder to get your damage off, and uptime is super important for classes like that. You need to be attacking the boss as much as possible. I'm going to try and get as much footage as I can to try and provide visual cues for some of the stuff that I'm talking about throughout this video, and hopefully I can find everything. If you have any questions about taunting or playing Gunlancer, Destroyer, and things like that, feel free to let me know down in the comment section below or on my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/Haiga. The link will be in the description. I hope I was able to shed some light on the art of taunting, because I know, let's say you wanted to start a new character, or with the anniversary, there may be events where new players are going to be joining in, and you wanted to play a Gunlancer or a Destroyer, you may not realize how important taunting can be later on in the game. So hopefully this helped. Anyways, it's me, your boy Haiga. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys later.